Hi, biology students. I'm really sorry that I can't be with you today. My boyfriend's son, Blake, isn't feeling well. So, just as a precaution, I'm staying home today. Um, he's going to get tested, and I'm hoping that will come back negative so I can come back right away again. I feel great, no symptoms, nothing here. But just as a precaution, I am going to be virtual with you today. So first of all, I will be on your Google Meet. So if at any time during class you have a question, pop on the Google Meet. Remember, the code is C Messner. That's CMESSNER. Okay. Anytime, pop in there and ask a question. Okay. I will be on there the entire class period. Okay. Our first task for today is to make sure our CER video notes are submitted. I have it from most of you, but not everyone. So just click on your CER video notes and double check that you submitted it. If you do not have your notes done, then you need to finish those first and then move on to the next items. Okay? So the next thing is to do the 5 C's video notes. Our next unit is on reliable sources. In science, it's really important to know how to critically look at a source of information to know if it's reliable or not. And you know what? In today's state, it's super important to know this skill. It's not just a science thing, it's any information you see online. We need to be able to look at it and think critically and know when we are looking at fake news or not, okay? So go ahead and you'll click on this. Okay, there's the video. And it has you just define a few terms, okay? So you're going to define those 6 terms, and you can see I have an assignment box here. So this one, you are going to get your notes done for the 5 C's, take a picture, and submit, okay? That is due during class today. The next thing you are going to start is this reliable sources activity, okay? So we'll look at that. Once you get there, I want you to click on Reliable Sources CER. Okay, let's open that up. Okay, now there are 11 sources on here. The first thing I want you to do is don't click on the links, just read, the headings. Okay, so the first one is Science News Magazine, and then it gives you sciencenews.org. Okay, Cryptomundo is the second one, cryptomundo.com. Okay, you're going to look at all of these. Now, just based on the names and the link, without clicking on the link, I want you to rate them from number 1 being the most reliable source, whatever you think based on the name is the most reliable source for scientific information, to number 11 being what you would think is the least reliable source for scientific information. Okay? You are going to do that in your notebook. So just in your notebook, writing down number 1, whatever it is. Number 2, whatever it is, the name of it, okay? That's the first thing I want you to do, is just by name only, okay? The next step, and you are doing this individually, okay? The next step is to access the source evaluation checklist on Schoology, okay? So then let's go back to Schoology. That's here. Click on it. Okay, so it gives you some information about how to check a source. Okay, your 5 C's notes can help you with this too. So the purpose. What is the purpose or the motivation for the source? Is it an educational resource? Is it have a lot of political stuff on it? Or is it commercial? As in, is it trying to sell you something? So there's purpose, bias, authority, and currency. You're going to use these questions and your 5 C's to help you look at these sources. So clicking on these links and saying, hey, what is the purpose of this source? So let's click on Science News. Okay, and I'm looking at it, maybe reading some of the headings. You can even go ahead and click on an article or two and decide what is the purpose. Okay, they wanted me to subscribe to something there. Okay, what is the purpose? Are they trying to sell you something? How easy is it to differentiate an advertisement from the content in the source? Does the information seem like fact or opinion? Okay, let's go ahead and click on another one. Cryptomundo. Oh shoot, this one doesn't work anymore. So actually, we are going to not use Cryptomundo. Okay, we won't use Cryptomundo. You can X-nay Cryptomundo. That was not a good source anyways. Okay. InfoWars. So you'll take a look at it. What is the purpose? Okay. You'll do that for all of these. Okay, what is the purpose? Now, what is the bias? Is there a bias? And a bias is when a person prefers an idea and possibly doesn't give equal chance to a different idea. And you know what? We all have biases. Okay? We all have our own opinions. That's totally fine. It's okay to have a bias, but it's important that you understand your bias and understand that, hey, you know, other people have opinions too, and that's okay. And I can still listen to their ideas even though I don't agree with them. Okay? So then you can look at the sources and think, do you think the author or sponsor of the site has any biased opinions? Sometimes those might be political, a lot of the times. Hey, authority. If you click on the article from the source, can you easily tell who the author is? Can you find who the author is? Can you find their background? Do you know anything about their education, their credentials, their occupation? If they're writing an article about science, we would hope they have a science background, right? So if you Google their name, what comes up? Is it something that has to do with the article? Right? That's important. Now, does the author have a degree in the field? Okay. Does the author cite their sources, or are they just kind of spewing their opinion? Okay, then the last one here is currency. When was the resource last updated, or how often is it updated? That's important in science because things change all the time. Okay, so if it's a source from 10 years ago, it might not be that credible just because things change. Okay, so once you've looked at each of the sites, I want you to then reevaluate your ranking, okay? And I want you to try it again. So writing down number 1, this is what I think is the most reliable, number 2, and then we would only be doing 10 since this site doesn't work anymore, okay? So you'll reevaluate your sources. Now, this isn't on the paper, but the next thing, since I'm not there to see you looking at these, see you discussing them, after you re-rank your sources, I want you to write a paragraph explaining what you found. Okay, well, I went to National Geographic. I clicked on an article. I found this author. This is their background. I think it's credible or I think it's not credible. I went to Anne's Anti-Quackery and Science blog. She was talking about this, and I think it's credible or I think it's not credible because blank. Because, you know, maybe I found that that site was trying to sell me something. Or they had a political bias where if they gave me some science information, I wouldn't know if I could trust it or not because maybe they have an agenda, you know. Okay, so really pay attention to, are they spewing out facts? Are they spewing out opinions? Okay, these are some things to think about. So, again, You rank them one time just by looking. Rank them another time after you evaluate these sources using the checklist. Number 3, you are going to write a paragraph explaining what you found on these sites. Okay, give me some information so I know that you did the work. Okay. The next part is to write a CER. And here's your question. Which source can I trust for reliable, unbiased, scientific information? And you know what? There's more than one reliable source on the list. I want you to pick one to focus on. Okay? So your CER, remember the claim, is going to answer this question. Which source can I trust? I can trust blank. Your evidence needs to be what you found on the site. Okay? So list, on this site, I found this. The purpose of the site is this. Do they have a bias? Are they trying to sell you something? Okay? Give specific evidence. This isn't just a 2-sentence thing. Okay? Give me a little more. And last, the R. The reasoning is the important part. Okay? Now let me just click on this CER framework, because this is where you're going to write down your CER. Okay? I just went over claim. Statement that answers the question. I gave you the question. I just went over evidence, data, whatever supports your claim. Now reasoning. An explanation. Okay? Give me an explanation of why you know that that source is credible. Okay? How do you know that someone having an education in the field makes it credible? Okay? So this sheet, let me show you, is from Cornell. Okay? This information comes from Cornell. So that's a good hint for you. Now, your reasoning should not be just one sentence. Okay? You should give me a good, detailed answer. Okay? So here's my reasoning. Therefore, I can conclude that what? What's your conclusion based on the question? Okay? And here's a few sentence starters for your reasoning. Okay? If you need them. All right. So, I expect that let's just go there. I expect that your video notes are all done. I'm in the wrong folder. So your CER notes are done by the end of the hour. I'm in the wrong folder again. Goodness gracious. Your CER notes are done. Your 5 C's are done. And you've done the first 2 rankings of the reliable sources. Okay? Update me with whatever you have done. So by the end of the hour, submit what you have done into the reliable sources activity so I can see your progress. And if I'm not here on Monday, then I will know how to plan for Monday, okay? I hope you have a really great day. And if you have any questions, please let me know. I know this got kind of long-winded, so thank you for sticking with me.